Hello, everybody. We are the Geeks and the Degenerates, and as I said before during our Hellraiser review, we're talking about one of the most celebrated horror movies of recent history, and that's 2018's Hereditary.
Mhm. I gotta say, this is how you do a horror movie. This shit freaked the shit out of me. A24 is always like on point, well, sometimes on point with their horror movies. Yeah, they rarely miss when it comes to like the occult, supernatural shit. Well, I would say Vivitch. Vivitch had the tone. It was just I was still new to like A24 that time.
Hmm.
But with Hereditary, I was like, I like this. Some people don't find it scary. I was like, ow. I don't understand shit. Like, this is how you do like Lovecraftian horror, which is this like, is it kind of Lovecraftian? Like, kind of
I,
cosmic.
I would say it kind of counts.
Kind of counts because they had that like blue flashing thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is odd. Correct us if we're wrong, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I was late to this, and then when I finally saw it, I was like, yeah, everybody was right. To the people I watched movie reviews like Chris Tuckman, Jeremy Johns, and John was Giant for some reason. They were right about this movie. It is pretty creepy. Is it outright scream your head up scary? Not really, not for me at least. But it is. It leaves an impression definitely, and the cast is interesting because I know Toni Collette before picking up the script was like, I don't want to do horror. I just want to do lighthearted stuff like comedies.
Yeah.
And then she saw the script. She's like, I'll make an exception then.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I also agree. Like, I remember her going on interviews and saying like, I don't really like doing horror movies or very serious movies.
Hmm.
Or I think she does, but like, she was more on tune with comedies.
Yeah.
But this is my first time seeing Toni Collette in anything, so I was
Yeah,
I
really.
I really think you're more like she does the whole drama thing very
Yeah.
yeah.
Like the only role I know her from is that what's the name of the movie? I see dead people.
I see. Oh, was she in
Yeah.
Sixth Sense?
Yeah, she's the mom.
I don't remember.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, like getting into it, this film right at the start makes you feel uneasy with the music. You're like, what's going on? So you peer into
You,
like a dollhouse, like something's supposed to happen.
you always gotta give it up to A24 with their like choice in score.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, they're showing the dollhouse because Toni Collette's character Annie, she makes dioramas for like I guess art museums or
Yeah,
uh but like anyway she just does pieces
yeah,
and you see this amazing transition from like dollhouse and then we're immediately in Peter's room. I was like,
yeah.
when did they do the cut?
Right. And
How they
then
do that shit?
I think this is Ari Aster's first directorial debut, and for the debut of being a director, he did an amazing job because you feel uneasy. You're like something's supposed to happen because at the start you find out that Annie's mom has died, and she wasn't the best mom. And like during the funeral scene, you also learn that oh, Charlie is allergic to peanuts, like deadly allergic apparently.
Hmm. And we also see Millie Safiro is her name, right?
Yeah.
Sapiro, sorry, Shapiro. Uh, Amazing actress.
Hmm.
Like for the little time that she had in this beginning of this movie, fucking amazing actress. Good on you, kid.
Yeah, and like the creeps start creeping in, like when she's in her working room and then she turns off the lights and she's like, "Mom, you see your mom?"
Oh, dude, no, like you know how creepy it is. Like she had that like dio of like her trying to feed Charlie, and then the mom like coming in
Yeah,
trying to feed her. That was a thing, right? She was like, "Oh, when you were a baby, like your grandmother really loved you because like she would even let me feed you."
and
And what
it's
she meant by that, she meant like actual breastfeeding. And we're like, there's a difference between regular breast milk and powdered milk. So it's
and like you find out later on why she favored Charlie so much. Like, oh no,
mm,
but yeah, and then um, Annie goes to a support group for people who lost their loved ones, and that's where you find out that her mom was very controlling and manipulative.
And she had a cult.
And what you don't find out until like
I mean, don't find
later.
that out yet, but like you could tell that there was something off about her, and you also find out that Annie comes from a long line of schizophrenia.
Yeah,
Like there is a symptom within her family, like it is hereditary that they go, crazy.
like her dad died of depression, and then her brother died, committed suicide because he was schizophrenic. Blamed her mom for putting people in him.
Yeah. What did she move in?
And we
Yeah,
find
like
out,
I was like, wait, what? Their souls?
and then
Like,
you find out later, you're like,
spiritually?
oh.
Right? I was like, putting people in him?
And then Peter is invited to a party, and then his mom convinces Charlie to bring her along. And Charlie's a bit odd, I would definitely say.
Yes, she is within the spectrum, and she does need help. And I do love that little dialogue that she had where she was like, kind of reveling in the thought of death, where she's like, when you're gone, who's gonna protect? Oh, who's gonna take care of me? Well, Peter will take care of me. Oh Lord, this didn't turn out so great.
No, and
No, it didn't. Like, yeah, like she was like, I don't want to go to the party. Also, she's kind of cuts off the
a
heads of
pigeon.
pigeons.
Yeah,
Yeah. Anyway, yes, she does weird stuff. She doesn't want to go to the party, and you can tell that Peter's kind of like not going to a barbecue, but more of like, come on, moms, leave teenagers alone and let them hang out with their high school friends.
Yeah.
You don't need to bring the little sibling along.
like, but
I
no,
feel bad.
it's like, no, it's a study group.
Right. But I feel bad because I was that sibling where they're like, oh, your brother and sister, you want to hang out with their high school friends. Bring little John along because, so you can meet other people. I'm like, why? It's just going to make the whole situation awkward and they have to babysit me now.
Peter meets up with the girl he likes in his class, and he's trying to go with her. He's like, Charlie, stay here. He's like, I don't know anybody. Look, there's cake. Again, I don't know anybody. No one knows anybody.
Look, okay. If you think that Peter is this kind of like, yes, this teenager that you would think in every horror movie would be like dismissive of their little sibling,
Yeah.
I don't think that's it.
Yeah,
Like,
he
he genuinely cared for his little sister. He's like, hey, look, there's cake over there. Just go over there. They'll give you some.
yeah, he generally doesn't know that the cake he tells her to eat is like chock full of the thing that will kill her.
Yeah, you see the girl like at the beginning of the scene. She's just like chopping up like almonds or some
Yeah.
shit. Or I'm sorry, they're walnuts. My bad.
Yeah. And like just one piece will incapacitate poor Charlie. A whole plate full of cake will certainly kill her.
Also, one thing, look, my parents would always make sure that because I'm asthmatic, I always need my inhaler in hand. Why do they not have an EpiPen? For fuck's sake, even at the funeral, they're like, is there nuts in that food? I was like, no, good, because we didn't bring the EpiPen. Why didn't you bring an EpiPen? You guys live in such a very nice house with a lot of land. Why can't you afford an EpiPen?
Or
Just
bring,
in case.
bring the one you have. But yeah,
Yeah.
like poor Charlie starts suffocating because of her allergy, and you hear the like, oh no, I kind of understand her because I'm allergic to alcohol, and at one point I do get to that stage of, oh no, I can't breathe.
Yeah. And well, for me, I'm asthmatic, and when I don't have an inhaler and I start getting an asthma attack, it does get hard to breathe.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, why don't you fucking breathe? Like, this is just bad parenting.
Yeah. And she goes to Peter, and he's like, what's up? He's like, it's getting hard to breathe. My throat's getting bigger. And he's like, oh no.
He's also high out of his mind, by the way.
Yeah.
So I don't blame the kid. He's just a kid.
Yeah.
Like, I don't blame weed here. I don't blame anything. I blame the mom. One, like, why would you bring a kid to a high schooler's party?
Yeah.
And two, why don't you have a standard EpiPen?
Even if he did, if it was just a study group, like it would still make the thing awkward. Like shit, we have to look after your sibling now.
Yeah, like why would you?
But yeah, he drives really fast trying to get her to the hospital, and you're like, for a guy high out of his mind, he's driving pretty straight.
Uh, Actually, when you're high, you actually drive slower. When you're drunk, that's when you drive fast and like a little weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they did show that he was going like 80 miles an hour,
yeah.
which is very fast.
He sees a carcass on the road, swerves to get out to miss it, but like he didn't know Charlie was sticking out her head for relief. And then that's when
Like
the
she's
scene,
trying to breathe. Yeah.
that's when the scene happens. You're like, did I just see what I saw?
And I will say those quiet moments of whether it's Tony Collette or Alex Wolf, where they just sit and just revel in what the fuck just happened.
Yeah,
Like he tries looking at the rear view mirror, but he can't bring himself to do it. I
yeah,
was like, oh my god, that shit's so intense. Like I was like, oh my god, and then he just drives off. And again, I don't blame him. Yes, like a very normal response would be call the police, call your parents. Hey, my sibling's head just came off. Yes, that is the most reasonable action to take.
yeah.
But you just saw your sibling's head come off.
What
Of
do you-
course, you won't be in the right state of mind.
Yeah, he just drives home and like he just lays in bed, unable to sleep because again, he saw his sister's head pop off.
Right? And then the mom, they're like, oh, I'm just gonna go get some balsa wood, BRB. And you just hear her screaming. I was
Yeah.
like, to be honest, I hated this sound of that. Like,
Yeah,
him just like, it's just focused on him on his bed with a 1,000-yard stare. And you just wait for the mom to scream. And I'm like, oh, God.
yeah,
And Tony Collette does an amazing job
yeah. And
when it
Um,
comes to drama.
to emphasize the point, it's not like Charles is dead from the allergy, like the whole body was still there. No, it's just a decapitated body of her daughter. Like, what the fuck?
Right?
And then they show
Right.
the head. You're like, no, I don't want to see it.
No, because like I get Peter. Like, what are you gonna do? Carry the body out and be like, "Hi."
Despite us laughing our heads off, it is painful to see Tony Collette become
No
hysterical.
pun intended.
It is painful to see her, become hysterical, saying,
And
I want to
we do
die.
get
You're
a
like,
s- oh my god, yeah,
Yeah.
that for sure that is a normal response to a parent who just
lost their kid.
who lost their head. Not to detract from the scene.
Yeah.
Again, Toni Collette did an amazing job showing grief.
Yeah.
A lot of these scenes is like her showing grief and how she's trying to cope with it.
Yeah.
Like her going to support groups, lying to her husband, saying, "Oh, I'm just gonna go to a movie. I'm okay."
yeah.
But she actually goes to support groups, and I'm like, she doesn't want to look weak in front of her husband or something like that. So she
Yeah.
does lie.
Like also when she's becoming hysterical and Peter is just in the hallway trying to figure out like what do I say.
Uh, and I mean, Peter's not doing so hot either.
Yeah.
Like you see him in school, he just like can't function well. He's with his weed friends.
Yeah.
They're doing it like at the bleachers, and him just having like an asthma attack or like somewhat the same allergic reaction that Charlie had.
Yeah.
And he gets home. And you see him like hesitate to go through those doors. I was like, this kid's going through so much. But you do see the mom like at the Volvo just like, I'm like, the fuck?
And then she does go to her support group but decides to back up. But then she's met with Joan. And then they bond about their shared loss that Joan lost her son and grandson while she lost Charlie.
So there was a little bit of like, oh, somebody understands how I feel.
Yeah.
So she does stay. She befriends Joan. It was like I guess that's the support she needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also tells Joan that her relationship before with Peter wasn't so great too, because she sleepwalks and she covered him and Charlie in painter fluid, right?
No, paint thinner.
Paint thinner.
Yeah.
With a
So paint
match.
thinner. Yeah. Well, paint thinner is very flammable. We
Yeah.
got a lot of those in here. Um, but yeah, like you could tell that it's like I do love seeing that scene later. We'll talk about it, but
Yeah.
where she sleeps walk. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I guess a couple of days go by. We don't need know how much time goes through.
Yeah, but again, just the fact that Pierre's going through this, like for sure, this is not just within a week.
Yeah.
This is like months and months and months.
Yeah.
I just see Peter just deteriorating as a person.
Yeah.
Him having bags upon bags in his eyes. I'm like, man, and him just like sitting on his bed doing nothing, just reveling. I'm like, you okay? Like I just wanted to do that. It's like, man, I
But
want to give you a hug.
the dad wants some sense of normalcy, so he brings them to, well, makes dinner and then asks them like, "Hey, it's dinner time. Please come."
But the fact that he comes in, he's like, "Hey, it's dinner." What the fuck are you making? And she recreated the scene of where her daughter's head like hits the pole. I was like,
It's a neutral view, and like in my mom, like imagine Peter walks in here and it's like, "What's mom making?"
yeah. And him reliving that trauma, I'm like, ah, shit.
It's like neutral. It doesn't matter if it's neutral. His fucking sister's head's gone.
It's exactly like if somebody made a diorama of the Twin Towers mid-explosion. It's kind of exactly like that. That's not kinda, it's exactly like that.
I just want to remember it. Like, why?
Why in this way?
We're not laughing at the situations, of course. We're just laughing how
Yeah, like,
ridiculous it can be. Yeah.
This is us coping with how fucked up this scene is.
Yeah.
No, but we also get a scene where we do see the decapitated head covered with that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I didn't want to see the head. You're like, oh god. And you see like the point of impact. Like, yeah, she has no jaw anymore.
No, it's still there.
Yeah, but it's smashed to shit.
Yeah, but it's still there.
But yeah, the dinner scene might be my favorite scene actually.
Where she blows up, I
Yeah.
was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And her going like, "Oh, I can't stand the way you look." It's like, how do we? He's not doing anything. You're the one rolling your eyes.
It's kind of like the scene in Marriage Story where like something's about to blow up. I just don't know when, and then when it does, you're like, oh damn.
And like Peter's just like, "You got something to say?"
Just
And it's just like-
fucking say it.
Yeah, just fucking say. And she does, and she just blows up, and it's like, nobody takes responsibility. I was like, whoa.
I am your mother. Don't talk to me that way. You're like, oh, okay.
Oh god. I see Peter just like how a normal kid would react. They don't look their parents in the eye, they're just like, I just gotta listen.
Steve's just like, I just want a normal dinner for once in months.
And A24 back at it again with dads being like the best dads. This guy was trying his best to be the glue of the family. Well, his son has like a shit ton of trauma, while his wife has shit ton of trauma and losing her mind. And like him, he's just trying his best to keep it all together. I was like, man, I feel bad.
But yeah, and then the other thing was like, what a shame because it could have brought us together. Instead, we're here in this spot, just not talking to each other anymore. Like, you have a point, but Jesus, Tony Collette.
Yeah. And again, the fact that she was like, "Oh, I'm more into comedy," I was like, "Well, I just gotta say, you're doing an amazing job in drama."
Yeah, and then
Tony Collette, amazing performance.
Yeah.
Horrible mother, Abby. Horrible fucking mother. Even Peter was like, "Oh, my fault. you're the one who wanted her to go to the party when I said that where she didn't want to.
I
And
know
she was
that's, that's the point where Steve was like, just shh, 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 shh.
right, like you see like a fuse like lighting up just within her eyes. Until Steve was like, okay, that's enough. That's fucking enough.
And then the next day she meets Joan again and she's like, hear me out. No, hear me out. There's a seance and of a 19th century spirit, and I heard my grandson's voice or felt his presence. No, I know how it sounds. Just hear me out. Let's try it together.
Yeah, we also get like before we get to the Joan and the Annie scene, if Peter is like haunted by his sister, you hear the clicking sound that she does. My mic pick it up.
But the Discord will.
But yeah, like, he's pretty much haunted by that tick that his sister does when she was at the funeral, and he's just like, he just hears it everywhere. You just see him just like
Me.
I was like, wow, leave this kid alone, please.
And then they do the seance in Joan's house where the grandson moves the glass, and you're like, that's nice, but Annie's freaking out. Of course, who wouldn't? When you're like, I didn't believe in this shit, but Jesus Christ, I guess it's real.
And she was like, oh, write something down in this blackboard thing. It says, I love you, Grandma. I was like, oh, that's such a nice grandkid.
And then, as before Annie leaves, she's like, here's the stuff. Here, you need to have a connection. Like, the chalkboard was my connection. And you need to find that belonged to Charlie. Alright. Then driving back home, you hear that. Like, the fuck?
Oh, yeah. I hate that, where she's just driving, just immediately hear the clicking sound, like, the fuck?
Like, that's one of the few jump scares nowadays that really gets me. I'm like, what the fuck? I heard that, right?
No, because it is a freaky, it's not like ghosts in your face.
Yeah.
Like, danger. No. You're in like a casual scenario where you're just driving.
Yeah.
And you know that you're alone, and then you hear that. That's fucking freaky.
Yeah, and there's no music to set it up. You're just like, I wonder how she's gonna do the.
Yeah, no, like you don't hear like a violin building up the tension. No, she's just driving. You're like, you're gonna be in that scenario, and then next thing you know, you hear that shit.
And then that night she sleepwalk again into Peter's room, but you don't know she's sleepwalking again. But like, he's like, why are you so afraid of me? He's like, I never wanted you. Never wanted to have you.
Oh no, it wasn't that. First she walks in and she sees like the ants that was covering the head of Charlie.
Right.
And it was covering Peter as well. And she was like, but just imagine if you were Peter and you just see your mom's going,
what's up?
I was like, hello? Yeah, but yeah, then they go on. She was like, I never wanted to have you. I was like, whoa. I was like, that was so uncalled for. And she was going on. She was like, I tried to have a miscarriage. And then we were like, what? Yo, stop talking. You're ruining this kid's life.
Just take your hands and go, shh, mom.
Yeah. And then she was like, oh, it's not my fault. It was because I didn't want you. It's because of my mother. And here she goes, being a complete hypocrite when at the beginning where she was like, nobody's taking responsibilities for their actions. She's pretty much denying it and blaming it on somebody else.
Yeah. And he's like, why don't you love me? He's like, I do love you. And then he's sweating bullets.
No, it's not sweat. That was
the paint thinner. I thought it was sweat, and I was like, and then when he caught on fire, I'm like, oh shit, that's paint thinner.
Yeah, I was like, oh. Such a cool scene. And then she wakes up.
Yeah.
As a horror movie, you know?
Yeah. And then she wakes Steve and Peter up. I was like, oh, my friend Joan showed me how to do this.
Yeah. And like you can see Steve's kind of like skeptical. He's like, "What the fuck are we doing? You're scaring our son." And they agree to do it, and it does happen.
Yeah.
Charlie moves the glass. Charlie starts creaking and making bumps in the night, and starts drawing on, or was about to start drawing on the notebook.
Yeah.
And then I think it was Charlie who's possessed the mom for a little bit. And then he's going, "Mom, where's Peter? What's happening?
What's happening?"
And then you see just Peter just like, "No, I don't want this." Again, very realistic emotions that you would get from a kid seeing their parent, who you think that has control of everything, who can pretty much fix anything, immediately just breaking down and like acting weird. Like, this would legit scare me if even now, like if my mom started doing that shit. I'm 23. I would start tearing up like in fear.
Most horror movies, you see like the kid be strong and like, I need to be strong for mother. But no, this guy's like, I don't want this anymore.
Yeah, that is a very real emotion.
Yeah.
Damn, Alex Wolf, from Naked Brothers Bad to this. Very nice.
Like, what is it with like our childhood?
Right?
A childhood becoming really good, really good actors like him, fucking Austin Butler as Elvis. You're like, I'm glad the people of my childhood are getting really good careers now.
Yeah. That way, like, Steve grabs a glass of water and pretty much splashes Annie. It's just like, the fuck are you doing? What the fuck's wrong with both of you? And she was like, what's wrong with us? What's wrong with you?
Peter's like, I don't want it anymore. Why?
Yeah, and Steve trying to be the best dad that he can be, and it's like, alright, let's fucking leave. Let's just go back to sleep. Fuck this shit.
I don't know how Peter can go back to sleep after that. He's like, my sister just was just my mom.
Seeing the bags in his eyes, I don't think he sleeps at all.
Yeah. And like I felt bad for him for like the next day in school. He sees I don't know what you call it, the entity going around. And he sees the reflection going. Like,
oh wait, no, that ain't there. Oh wait, yeah, we are.
Yeah, it's like I need to go to the bathroom, and just calmly walks to the bathroom. And from what the dad tells the mom, he became hysterical. He's like, I want to go home.
Right. And like the dad's pretty much like, you're fucking messing up this fucking family. Well, with your actions, and then you see Annie like looking over the diorama and pretty much the gallery that she's supposed to like showcase her work at. It was like, hey, we heard about your loss. Sorry, you could take your time within the project. We could postpone it, and then that's when she like wrecks all the dioramas. So it's like, okay.
I guess
I do love her job though. I'm like, I love making dioramas. That shit's sick.
Yeah, just hopefully you don't get possessed by a spirit. That's all. Then you should be fine.
Artists are the worst people to get possessed by.
I like that night, right? Like you see the hands try to like Kratos Peter's head.
I mean, you did see like one of the dios that wasn't destroyed of Peter's room, and then it just has Peter but without his head. Yeah, and then like yeah, and the dad's sleeping on the couch now because the mom's kind of crazy.
And then the next day, because she's right there when he wakes up after nearly getting his head pulled off. He's like, "Why would you do that to me? You tried to decapitate me."
Right? And I'm like, no, it wasn't me. I'm like, press X to that, but yeah. Okay, whatever you say, Mom.
The next day, she goes to Joan and is like, Joan, help me fix this. And then she's not there, but you realize...
Oh, no. This is the part where she throws the notebook, those like had drawings of Peter with like X's in his eyes. She tosses it in fire, then she catches on fire. Showing that like, oh, if I destroy this book, it's gonna destroy me. So what the fuck do I do?
Yeah, and that's when she goes to Jones, like, fix this, and then you see the symbol of the rug, and you're like, that's odd, and then she's like, this is odd. Why does it really look like my mom's?
And then she goes back to like her stuff, and she sees like a yearbook photo.
Yeah.
of her and Joan like being the best of friends, the grandmother having like a golden shower, and like, yes, I did that on purpose.
Discovers that
Wait,
they are worshipping a demon named Painam. I think that's the name.
I know, I know, I. Oh.
Yeah, just insert demon's name. I'm sorry if I get it wrong, but yeah, she finds out that oh they're besties and they belong to the same cult, and at the same time, poor Peter's at school and sees Joan like leave this body alone. And he's like
That part I didn't get. Like, what the fuck's happening here?
I guess Joan having regrets now.
No, because she's still in the cult, isn't she?
Yeah, or like there's a better host. Just I don't know. I really don't get that scene. If you
Oh, like that. It's like she's telling the demon inside of him just to leave him alone.
yeah.
I guess.
Like you can
Maybe it's
come
to-
back, but like through
Mm.
another person. But it's too late because he gets possessed in the hallway, and that's where we get the scene of him twisting his wrist and slamming his head on the desk.
And then having a full freak out. Just imagine the students. Like, if I was one of the kids, I'm like,
Like the teachers,
I don't want to say the school no more.
like the teacher's like, "What's this little shit? What? Are you okay?" Even the
Yeah,
students are like,
like you just see your student having a stroke, just
"Yeah,
and banging their head on the like chair table thingy.
yeah."
Yeah.
And then you see
And
that the dad has to
Go
bring
on.
him home again, and has to
Yeah.
back down.
I was like, oh, he's trying so hard.
Yeah,
Like this old man is just like, I'm too old for this.
yeah.
I thought we were good. What the fuck?
And then, like, before that, Annie discovers that her mom's body is in the attic. Because, like, before everything went to shit, the dad gets called, like, hey, someone defiled your mom-in-law's grave?
Right? Like they dug up the body and like
Yeah.
pretty much went home with the body.
Yeah. And then Annie discovers the body, and she's like, what the fuck is happening? At the same time, the dad's coming home. He's like, I need to show you shit. Shit ain't right. He's like, you fucking think?
You fucking think? Our son tried to break his own nose. Well, he did. Uh, and then, like, you can see the dad is like, stop talking. Please just stop talking. Oh, there's a body in the attic. Okay. Oh my god. Like, you see that, he's like, she sounds crazy.
Yeah.
But she's actually telling the truth when he sees the body. But he was like, you're the one who dug up the body.
That's why you're always going out at night.
Yeah. He doesn't know, because he doesn't know he goes to support groups.
All this while Peter's having the best leap he's had in, like, I don't know, months.
Yeah. Wait, because he was knocked the fuck out. Yeah.
And then she tries to tell him, like, essentially, like, burn this book and it will all end, but I'll die. And he's like, why
Yeah,
this?
of course he's a skeptic. And he was
Yeah.
like, okay, you know what? After this, I'm not doing this no more. We're done. And I'm like, I get you. I ain't against you getting tired of this bullshit. Because man, he was just a bystander. He was a good dad.
And he refuses to burn the book. He's like, you know what? I have a better solution. Let's call the police.
I was like, no, they won't fix it. So she tosses the book, which made the husband catch on fire. I'm like, and then you just see her face just like, oh my, whoa.
That is great acting right there. Like, Jesus Christ.
Like you could tell that like that was the breaking point
Yeah.
where the spirit pretty much consumed her, and she's like, nope, yep,
Yeah. And then
she ain't mom no more.
and then we get to the freakiest part of the movie where Peter wakes up. He's like, hello? Is anyone
And
home?
this is our first time having a full presence of danger.
Yeah. Do you
In the
like
movie,
how
Huh?
how they transition from day to night? Where it's just day
Yes,
and then
where yeah, but if you notice, when it was day, like nobody was there. When it turned night, you just see naked bodies around the house.
yeah, you're like, I just paused. I'm like, am I saying that right?
I was like, whoa, okay, sick. All right.
And like when Peter wakes up, you see the mom just. You're like, it is pretty dark. What? Whoa.
By the way, Peter doesn't see this.
Yeah.
Peter walks into the room where his dad pretty much died. He sees his dad, but you see something on the roof. Just like, and it's not Batman, so it's not cool. It's scary. And then like he looks to his like left and sees like a naked man. I was like, what's the meaning of this? And then she disappears.
Yeah.
And she comes out of the fucking corridor. I was like, ugh.
Like he's so panicky that he trips and he quickly catches himself, but the mom trips too and like goes to the attic, and then that's when she starts doing the head banging. You're like, God damn, that is freaky.
No, that was the oddest thing. Is that when first time watching this, I was like, oh, that's so freaky. She's banging on the. Wait. How's she banging on the door? And you see her just like, she's on the roof, like Spider-Man style, just like. I was like, why? By the way, I was with a girl when I watched this. Very, like, I was like at the point where I was like, hold on, what? What the fuck? Like all my attention went towards the movie instead of her. I was like, oh my god. Yeah, and then Peter was in the same room where the dead body was.
Yeah.
But the body's not there. I'm like, okay, fine. And you just hear something just sliding within the room, and he looks up, and it's his mom, just like gaitering her neck off. I was like, they didn't show a lot of horror. It was more of psychological within the midpoint until they got to the third arc.
Yeah.
There's a part where they just went ham with this shit. They threw everything that they had at you. This shit was so fucking traumatizing. Just seeing your mom just cutting her head off, like hovering above. Freaky as shit. Oh, Jesus.
And then he sees the naked cult members like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah. He bails out the window. They're just like Lois Griffin, like death pose on the lawn, and he wakes up.
And then you hear the then plop, Rick. I guess she's dead.
I guess she's finished. Because you do see the body starts floating into the like tree house that Charlie used to stay at. And I guess this was the point where Peter was kind of like, oh, okay, I'm fully accepted this. Goes into the treehouse, sees a shit ton of naked people, and a statue with a very familiar face on top of it.
Yeah, I was like, that's Charlie's head, right?
I'm like, hey Charlie, nice to see you again. And I do love this actress where she was trying to make the prosthetic for her head.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be used for the scene where you see the cut off head. She was just joking the entire time. I was like, this kid's cool.
Right? But yeah, they proclaim the return of the demon, and this world is his for the taking. And essentially, the demon wins, and you don't know what happens after, but can't be anything good.
No, well, Peter is the vessel. Kid went through so much, got so little. He didn't even ask for it. And yeah, you see the grandmother and like Annie's bodies just like in a weird position.
Yeah, bowing down. You're like
bowing down without their heads.
Right.
Yes.
And then the last shot is like again like the beginning, like a dollhouse. Like that's cool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I like this movie.
Yeah,
it's
me
freaky
too.
as fuck. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, all that being said, what would you rate this one?
I would rate this one a solid 8 out of 10. No, I'll go with a 9. I'll go with a 9 out of 10. Because it is a slow burn. I am a fan of slow burns. But the payoff is so good. The acting is so good. Toni Collette. Did she win an award for this? Damn, she should have.
Not even nominated.
Yeah. Her, Alex Wolff, Gabriel Bryan, and Millie Shapiro. They all did an amazing job. The horror was there, but it's more of psychological at the start, and then it becomes a full-on horror movie at the end.
Yeah.
Such a good transition. And A24 likes being weird. And it's very open about it. And I like it. And I love it so much that they did it with Hereditary. This is probably one of my favorite horror movies, and I really recommend it if you're gonna watch something scary for Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll give this a 10 out of 10. Like, I know it seems like we keep giving it out left and right, but like this one does definitely deserves it. Because I can't think of anything I don't like. You know what I mean? Like, none of the acting's off. There's no like dumb moments. You're like, that's stupid. Aside from the mom like acting out of hysteria, like, I kind of get it.
Yeah, it's in character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like a really good story, really good actors, and really good characters, and just an uneasy feeling throughout it. But yeah, it's a really good movie, and again, not a lot of movies can pull out these kinds of scares of uneasiness. I should insert a jump scare during that scene. Like, hello.
No, but I will say, like, it wasn't a conventional horror movie. Out of the box, you've never seen this kind of like how a horror movie is done.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, 10 out of 10 and 9 out of 10. This is a really good movie, and yeah, I don't want to go with the bandwagon a lot of times, but like when they're right, they are right.
They are right.
Yeah.
Now, who knows? Maybe later down the road, we'll do Midsommar. So
yeah,
can't wait to do that.
But yeah, that's been a video on Hereditary. What other really good, and would you say this is underrated? Because I don't really hear a lot of people talking about it.
Nah, it's not underrated. People love this movie.
What's your favorite horror movie? Please comment down below. I know I've asked that question before, but since it is 2022, let's bring in more, answers, and maybe we'll cover those if we haven't covered them already. Unless Jomo forgets that we already covered them for some reason, or haven't covered them. But yeah, if you want to see more... Oh well. But yeah, if you want to see more of us on this platform at least, please like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. And you can find us at Facebook and Spotify and TikTok under the same name. I don't know why I had an Australian accent like that. But for Facebook, we like to share, stream video games, and about our life content.
I'm not kidding.
Good day, mate.
I'm sorry, man. You're just like 100% wallet. Drug ambulance.
What was I saying? Oh, yeah, Spotify to hear us on the go, on the road. Please don't stick your head out on the road, though. TikTok for our greatest moments. And yeah, individually, it's fucking hot. Individually, you can find me at Gandalfus995 on IG and Twitter.
You can find me at JomGeom_on Instagram. It is my art account.
And like I said, the next video will be about a certain green character in Marvel. So yeah, look forward to that. But that's it for this video. We'll see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.
I can't wait to do a review on Swamp Thing.
We fucking should, though.